Alright, so I read a book on Diogenes. Its name is Diogenes the Cynic, War Against the World. It's this book. If you're wondering why it doesn't look like a fucking book, it's because it's not a book. It's a printed copy of the book. Illegal. I downloaded a PDF, I think it's called in English, and I printed it. Not myself, I bought it off from a web page. And I did it because, let's actually talk about that. Before talking about the book, I like printing books. It's amazing actually. It's the books are much cheaper, and I personally even like them more. Like, look, I like them much more than actual books because first they are made of material that you can I don't know the word for it. Like, you can do this and it doesn't have any, like, nothing happens with it. Like with a book, you can do that. It goes to fucking shit. And aside from that, this book specifically, it was really hard to get from Amazon. Plus, it was like, I don't know if you can hear it. There's like random kids yelling in my in my street. But this book specifically, I think it was 60 euros in Amazon or something like that. I don't know. And printing it was 10 euros. And that was plus the traveling expenses, the delivery. And okay, so I have a lot of more printed books. It's really like a fucking addiction for me. Anyway, so I got this book recommended by me by someone really into philosophy from a Discord I am in that is also about philosophy. And they are not like this cringe type of person that is into philosophy. They are like the crazy people that are into philosophy. I kind of fall into that sector of people too. They are the type of people that will mention a million philosophers when you ask them the morality of breaking an egg with, I don't know, your hands. You know, they will start mentioning Schopenhauer, Hegel. They will talk about dialectics. It's really good. It's amazing because these people know a lot, like way too much. So I asked about a book on philosophies, on philosophies, on Diogenes, and I got Diogenes the Cynic, The War Against the World, recommended to me, and I read it. And when I finished it, I couldn't help myself but start crying. And the reason is not because the book is precisely sad; it's because it's really beautiful. It's really good. Not only the parts where Diogenes speaks, well, he doesn't speak. Well, he does speak, but he doesn't fucking talk. I mean, this book is from Diogenes. This is from a guy named Luis Enavia. He's American, and the author of this book really knows how to write. It's really good. It's divided into various chapters: the biography of Diogenes, the philosophy of Diogenes, how Diogenes turned into what he was, and what was his legacy in the world of philosophy and overall. And the message that the author wants to give really struck out to me. Like, Diogenes is kind of a forgotten figure. I mean, not really. It just is that Diogenes is only remembered because he was wacky and because he talked mean to people and he did mean things. And it's true. He shot around, like he shot on the floor in front of people and that sort of thing. And when I was a kid, like, I don't remember the first time I heard about Diogenes, but I always thought that he was cool. Like, wow, this guy doesn't give a fuck about anything. He's amazing. And when I read this book, I finished it. I cried because the book is beautiful. The philosophy of Diogenes is also really pretty. Like, well, I'll talk about that later. But when I finished it, I left the book thinking, "Wow, this guy doesn't give a fuck about anything. He is amazing." And that's not really true, like fully, because he does care. His way of caring is by not giving a fuck. It's kind of contradictory, but it is the way he is. He is quite the contrary. Like, he's quite all over the place. Like, he does things but means the other. Like, he hates humanity but also loves humanity, because otherwise he won't do anything. Okay, first of all, what the fuck is the philosophy of Diogenes? The philosophy of Diogenes is quite simple, but not really. I mean, yeah, I'm a great guy explaining shit, right? You're gonna like, whoa, I explain everything with such an elegant way of explaining things, right? I say he is this, but not really. Anyway, so Diogenes thought that humans are the center of everything, and that is that he doesn't give a fuck about gods or mythology. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that. He says, why should we care about this when people are like living and stuff? He says that an average farmer will live his whole life and die without knowing that people like Socrates and Plato and etc. lived. He will die as if they had never existed. And so he says, why should we care about imaginary things like the ideas and stuff like that that Plato talks about, when we should be focusing on the normal people? So his philosophy is really human-centered, and more to that, he doesn't believe in writing. Like, his main, like, the core of his philosophy is acting and showing. That's why we have no writings of Diogenes. There are people in the medieval ages and some Arabs, so like Arab sources and people earlier from that, like from the Roman Empire, who say that there was a shit ton of writings, like 40, I think, but we have none of them. So for us, it's like he never wrote anything. So he never wrote anything. I mean, we don't know. Like, with all these people who lived a fucking million years ago, like, for example, Diogenes is from 23 centuries ago. It's pretty much all. It's whatever we want, like, to believe. Like with Socrates and Plato, we know certain things, but we can be sure of any of them. I mean, we can be sure. We can think we are sure, but I mean, in reality, we are never sure. But anyway, Diogenes believes in showing and acting, and he said that there is a way to there is a way to happiness, and that he had a shortcut. He said that the way to happiness is to return to nature. What the fuck does Diogenes mean? Is Diogenes a man's? Is Diogenes an incel? No, kind of, but not really. Is Diogenes a fucking, like, one of these modern fascists, but in the 23rd century he was like, oh my god, I need a trad life and I need to return to nature. This shit about Athens, it's not rocking. Like, what the fuck is this? No, he wasn't like that. His idea of nature isn't like eating shit from the ground, even if he did that. Like, his idea of nature is that humans should behave like humans are supposed to. And this is really vague, but it's basically like we shouldn't be believing in things like nationality and laws and all of this shit, because that's shit we made up. Like, I know I speak really good, like, speak really family friendly anyway. And his main goal was like he said, defacing the currency. I'm gonna give, I know, I'm such a great blogger. I didn't even fucking introduce Diogenes. Someone could have watched this whole video and didn't know who Diogenes was. Okay, I'm gonna give a rundown of the biography of Diogenes. Diogenes was born on a random ass city in the Black Sea, who today is called Sinope. Well, it was called Sinope back then. Okay, and around the year 400 he was born, like, yeah, 400. And when he was 30, we believe that he was banished from Sinope for defacing the currency. It will seem like him and his father were uh, making coins in Sinope, and they defaced the currency and they were banished. Well, his father, it seems like he was either killed or jailed, we don't know really, but Diogenes was exiled. And he comes to the Oracle of Delphos. Delphi, I think it's Delphi in English. And he comes to the Oracle in Delphi, and the bitch-ass Oracle tells him, you gotta deface the currency. And Diogenes is standing there like, what the fuck, dude? I just did that. Like, are you for real? Like, can you believe it? Like, it's like if you were kicked out of a school by, I don't know, stabbing your teacher with a knife. Knife. With a fucking pencil or anything. And you come to your house, and your dad says, kid, your goal in life is stabbing people in the back with pencils. So you're like, I'm getting mixed signals from here. So Diogenes interprets this message by the oracle that he has to deface the currency of humanity, because the oracle says you gotta deface the currency, and Diogenes says, what the fucking currency? And he thinks that the oracle means the currency of humanity, which will be like the laws, countries, states, governments, I don't know, ideas. It's all really vague, but the good thing about Diogenes is that his acts, like his actions, are really visible. Like, you can really see them in your head. I'm gonna give an example. For example, he's at the supermarket of Athens. This is a really common anecdote of Diogenes. He's at the supermarket, that's it. Oh my god, at the marketplace of Athens, and he's walking around with a light up lamp, and his shaft, like his stick. And he's walking around, out of farming, I guess. And this random guy comes to Diogenes and says, what the fuck are you doing, Diogenes? Why are you walking around with a light lamp? It's like 4 p.m. What the fuck are you doing? Go somewhere else, dude. And Diogenes says, I am looking for a real human. So you hear this or read this and you're like, huh, whatever the fuck, Diogenes, whatever you want. Sure, whatever. What did Diogenes mean by this? He means that he sees a lot of beasts, a lot of animals, but neither of them are human. That's why he's trying to say. This is not as wacky as the one I'm going to say right now. So, Diogenes is begging on the supermarket because, by the way, Diogenes doesn't believe in worldly goods. Like, he is dirt poor, but because he wants to be dirt poor, like he will beg, he will walk around in a random stick, he will be, I don't know, with rag clothes all day and eating from whatever they gave to him. So he's at the marketplace again, and he's begging, and some guy comes to him and says, Diogenes, I am going to give you something if you can convince me. And fucking Diogenes replies, if I could convince you of anything, it will be for you to hang yourself. So Diogenes was the original gamer, like he was the original kill yourself type of person. And like, I mean, I can see why people will be like, my guy, what's your point? Like, what are you trying to get across, Diogenes? But Diogenes, like, we interpret this in a way of saying Diogenes hates humanity, and he does. He hates humanity, but he doesn't lose hope for humanity. That's why he stays around, unlike other cynics from later periods who would go on to kill themselves, or like Stoics, which, by the way, were born out of cynicism, which Diogenes is not the founder, but is really the most representative figure of the philosophy. So everyone else after Diogenes is like, damn, that guy was so cool. I must be like him. I gotta be like him. Like, oh my god, I must be like Diogenes. So yeah, they try to be like him. Diogenes was really the most badass cynic of all time. By the way, if you were expecting like a good analysis of the book, you ain't getting one. Like I said, this is really all over the place. This is about me rambling. Anyway, there are a lot more of anecdotes, like the famous one with Alexander the Great, where he told Alexander, "Fuck off, you are covering the fucking sun, and I'm fucking cold all of their like." I'm not enjoying this fucking shade you're giving me. Get the fuck out. Like, there's the anecdote where Diogenes says that upon seeing a hanged woman from a tree, he wishes that all trees bored, not boring, not the kinky shit, like bear, not the animal. Okay, like the same fruit, gave the same fruit. Like Diogenes would love to see more trees with hanged people. He's the type of guy. And you know, why did this fucking book about a random ass guy who will go around telling people to kill themselves made me want to cry? Well, didn't make me want to cry. It made me cry. It is because even after all this, Diogenes truly cared about people. Like, really, he wanted people to see that they were crazy, that laws and other stuff like wars and famines and politicians taking advantage of vulnerable people. That's all fucked up, and we keep doing it. Like, we go on living each day like nothing's happening, and we are all like saying, "Man, it's okay." I mean, it is what it is. And Diogenes is screaming and saying, "No, it's not. It's not the way it fucking is. Hang yourself." That's what Diogenes is saying. And the author of the book really, it really touched me, because Diogenes, I mean, at the end of the book, the author portrays Diogenes as this kind of not genital, general of an army of dogs. Why dogs? Because cynicism, or a cynic, not the modern way of the word, like the modern meaning is wrong, is the complete opposite of what it meant back then. But what it meant back then is the philosophy of Diogenes, and the literal translation of the word is dog. So Diogenes was called Diogenes the Cynic, which means Diogenes the dog. The dog. So the author portrays Diogenes as this general in an army, and he says, well, he quotes a lot of people saying that each century needs a Diogenes. Each century needs a cynic, a dog. And the author goes on to say that the armies of the dog are relentless, and they must continue on, continue fighting, even if their fight is hopeless, even if humanity is insane and that there seems like nothing can be done. And the message really resonated with me. So yeah, I really recommend the book. I mean, it's not really long, to be honest. I mean, this looks like a handful of papers, but I mean, it kind of is. But it can be more like 400 pages in a normal book. It may be scary to all the people who don't fucking read books, but really it's not a lot. Maybe 300, I don't know. A handful of them um, are uh, like sections where the author writes where he got the sources or explanations about what things meant, so don't worry, okay? But yeah, I really recommend the book. Diogenes the Cynic, War Against the World. I printed it like this. It's blue and shit. I don't know, I wanted to make the thing look blue. I thought it was gonna be really bad. Like I didn't have a lot of interest in the book at first, but then I was like, damn, this shit rocks. Anyway, that was kind of cringe. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't want to make the fucking video more long. I can see already that I am on 21 minutes long of me rambling about a book. It was really pretty. Pretty? No, beautiful. Pretty is like not the right word. Anyway, if somehow someone stuck around till the end, read the fucking book because I explained it really badly. There's a lot of funny anecdotes. The biography is amazing too because there are a lot of variants. There are a lot of stories explaining the origin of Diogenes and what he did. And I don't know, he's a really fun guy to read about, and his philosophy is surprisingly uh, has a surprising no, not death like killing, depth like deep. Like it has a surprising depth. Now I'm saying it like he's fucking deep. No, it has a lot to go around, is what I'm trying to say. It has a lot of stuff. It has a lot of material. It's really good. It still applies today, even if the old fuck died like 23 centuries ago. I still recommended the book. Well, the book was written in the last century, like in the fucking 90s. But you get what I mean. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. It's the middle of the night, that's why the lights are on, the spooky big light. But anyway, I don't wanna ramble too much. The next video I will make, I don't know when, because I record when I'm home alone, because I don't want like getting jump scared by my family or something. So yeah, I don't know how to finish these videos, but you can go now. I won't hold it against you really. Anyway, bye.